I would have loved to have a guide like this when I first got my A7C. And as a bonus, you get a cool overview to screenshot. Hi, in this video it's all about the Sony a7c menu, and I made a whole series about the menu of the a7c, and at first I didn't realize that it would take up so much time to create this guide, but I'm very happy with the product. I would have loved to have a guide like this when I first got my a7c. Alright, so you're probably here because of the well-known problem of the Sony menu. It's huge. So huge that it's usually intimidating right from the first sight. But don't worry, we're going to tackle that together. In this video, at the end of this video, you'll get a simplified overview of the menu and, like that, a rough idea of the structure. And also, as a side note, if I said like before just menu, it's the Sony a7c menu, but yes, just to make things a little bit easier for me, I might say just menu. Alright, let's start with the Sony menu. Entering the Sony menu, we get 6 tabs, and in these tabs are 179 items / settings. 179 is a very big number. Yeah, that's the good part. On Sony cameras, you have so many possibilities to set up things, but you need to, get to know where you can set up things, what is interesting, what is, something maybe you won't use ever. And let's tackle that together. This 179 settings / items, we can divide them in smaller parts already. As I said before, there are the 6 default tabs. So this 179 items are going to fill the 6 default tabs. Alright, so let's start with the first default tab. That's the Camera 1 tab, and it's also the largest tab as it contains 70 menu items. And in this tab, you'll find all stuff for photography, such as, for example, the RAW / JPEG setting or focus settings, the ISO, and many more. Next is the second default tab in the Sony menu, and that's the Camera 2 tab. This tab contains 37 items, and it's about half the size of the previous one. And in this tab, you can find settings for filmmaking, such as HD / 4K, the audio record levels, and also general settings for example, the custom key. I call them custom buttons. I've done a separate video about them as well. It's linked up here or here. I don't know, somewhere. And in here, in this tab, you can also find the function menu. I've done a separate video about this one as well. I'll link it up as well. And you also find stuff like the dial and wheel setup and many more. In the third tab, the network tab, we have 13 items. And this tab is pretty easy to manage, since in here we have settings to connect our camera to our phone or computer or Wi-Fi. In the fourth default tab, the playback, we have 18 menu items. And here you can do many things. For example, protect your shots against accidental erasure, rotate them or rate them, or do many other things while looking at your photos with the playback button. In the fifth default tab, the setup tab, we have 35 menu items. And in this tab, you can set up many things, like for example, the date and time, the touch operation. You can look at the camera version, you can format your memory card and do many more things. The last tab, the last default tab, the sixth tab, is the My Menu tab. And that's the lifesaver of the Sony menu. Well, apart from the custom keys / custom buttons and the function menu. Because in this tab, you have 6 default items, and then you can add the settings you use often so that you can directly access them instead of going through the whole Sony menu and searching for them or looking for them. And you can also set up a quick access to this menu or to this tab, so that when you press menu, you can directly access the 6th tab. By the way, I put a lot of effort and work into this video, so if you're liking it, leave a comment or a like below. That would be awesome. And if you're interested in what I do apart from my YouTube videos, so speaking of photos and reels, you can go and have a look at my Instagram, Vero, and TikTok. On Instagram and TikTok, I publish short form video content, and on Instagram also photos at times. What I also started to do is I want to be more transparent. So when I post a photo, I want to show you, or I post also the before in JPEG and in RAW. Sometimes when I post a reel about a photo on Instagram, then you can go over to Vero, because there you'll be able to see like the before and after just as a photo post, and you can have a look at them at your pace. And you don't have like to try to stop the video or look it 100 times. You can do that if you want to, but maybe it will help me out, I don't know. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. And now let's continue with the video. So in this video, I also want to share some great tricks on how to navigate faster and easier through the Sony menu. If you don't get the meaning of an item or the function, don't worry, I have a trick for you. So when you have this item selected, then you can just hit the trash button and then you'll get an explanation. And that works for every item in the menu. Now, if this explanation isn't satisfactory to you, then I can truly recommend you the help guide to your specific camera. So for example, for the Sony a7c, just search for Sony a7c help guide and you'll get it. Another trick is to look at the bottom right corner in the LCD screen on your camera, and there you can see how you can navigate through the Sony menu. You have like informations on, for example, also the trick I told you before, that when you have a question about an item, that you can just hit the trash button. Or if you want to go back in the Sony menu, you just need to hit the menu button. And this informations in this bottom right corner, they can variate or differ depending on where you are. For example, in selection mode, they look a little bit different. There is also a trick to move quicker from one tab to another, and to do that you just need to press the FN button. Like that, you don't have to go all the way up with the up button in the control wheel to the top to select the tab you're in, and then use the left and right button on the control wheel to go to your desired tab. So it's a lot faster. It's a great way to, go through the menu. I scripted a separate video for each tab that we've just looked at, and in the end cut I'll link you the playlist where I'll put in all the videos of this series that are out yet, because I'm going to produce them and then upload them step by step. But for now, let's do a little memory training, and as a bonus you get a cool overview to screenshot. Alright, so now let's have a closer look at the overview you just screenshotted together. Okay, so the first camera tab contains settings for photography, such as RAW, /JPEG, ISO, focus settings, and so on. In the second tab, the Camera 2 tab, we have settings for filmmaking, such as HD/4K, audio record levels, and also general settings like the custom key, or how I call them, the custom buttons, and the function menu, the dial wheel setup, and more. In the third tab, we have different settings on how to connect our camera with our phone, computer, or Wi-Fi. The fourth tab contains settings to protect your shots against accidental erasure, to rotate them, rate them, or do many other things with your photos while you look at them with the playback button. The fifth tab contains settings like date time setup, touch operation, copyright information, format, camera versions, and many more. And in the last tab, the sixth tab, we have the customizable tab in the menu, where you can collect often used settings for quick access in the menu. What is a cool function, or a function you like about your Sony, or a function that you maybe discovered in this video and you're really looking forward to learn more about it? in the next videos, yeah, just write it below in the comments, because like that we get this great collections of super duper functions and we can learn from one another. I would absolutely love that, and I count on you. So now write a comment below. I would truly appreciate that, and all the others as well. My goal with the series is that you'll be able to navigate yourself through the Sony menu more confidently and find your targets so much faster. I'll link the playlist of the series for you at the end of this video, and the next video in the series is gonna be the first tab, the Camera 1 tab. Alright, so you know how it works. Like, subscribe and hit the bell if you want to support me. That would be truly appreciated. Thanks a lot for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!